tax to be imposed on electronic transactions and plan review of fees and charges by the minister. So let's do this quickly. I'm going to run you through the highlights, but I've been joined on the telephone by the Information Minister, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. A quick one on this. Mr. Oppong Nkrumah, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. First of all,
thanks for having me.
Great. Now, one that has got lots of people talking, and indeed their reactions from the public, is the 1.75% tax on mobile money transactions. They call it the electronic transactions levy on mobile money transactions beyond 100 cedis, and then also the remittances as well, and then bank transfers. Now, explain to me exactly how is this going to play out for the mobile money transactions beyond the 100 cedis?
So, first of all, we used to have 50 pesos and 1 cedi as road tolls. And the totality of what it generates is about 78 million Ghana cedis. And it comes with a lot of inconvenience at road tolling points across the country. The problem with that is that it is not equitable because only just about 30% of road vehicles are paying that tax. It does not exclude poor people who should always be protected when you are doing revenue handles. And it also comes associated with a lot of environmental considerations, environmental hazards because of all of these cars stuck in traffic emitting fumes. What we have done is that we have removed the road tolls and we have introduced a 1.75 electronic transactions levy, which applies, as at this stage, only to mobile money transfers exceeding 100 Ghana cedis. And it only applies on the sender. And the reason is that when you study the data of mobile money transfers, up to about 40% of it is under 100 Ghana cedis. And that maps very well with the poor and the vulnerable in society. Now, beyond 100 Ghana cedis, you see people doing some larger volumes of transactions. And so this 1.75% will only apply to the sender of mobile money above 100 Ghana cedis. I'm not too sure where this thing about remittances, I don't know if that means remittances from abroad in this context. I've even heard some people say bank transfers, etc. No, the policy consideration, as I know to have been approved by Cabinet, is that it applies to mobile money transfers of 100 cedis plus, and it applies to the sender only.
So, because the minister specifically mentioned remittances and bank transfers, does that mean that there's going to be a different levy on remittances and bank transfers and not the 1.75% that we heard?
Come again, I'm losing you there.
I'm asking, you're saying that the 1.75 is applicable only on the MoMo transactions. This is the e-transactions levy. Now, with the remittances and the bank transfers that the minister mentioned, what percentage of levy is going to be applicable to them?
I must be honest with you, I am not familiar with what it is about remittances and bank transfers. What I do know has been approved, and what will be the detail in the bill when it has come to Parliament. My understanding as I speak to you now is that it applies to mobile money transfers. That's my understanding as of now.
I see. Because the minister mentioned that, that's why I need that clarification on that. But still dwelling on the mobile money, already the sender is paying charges that is going to the telcos, because if you send beyond 100 cedis, you're paying. It's about 10% or so. Now, you are also going to impose this 1.75% on the sender as well. Did you consider the impact that it's going to have on the sender of this particular transaction that you're talking about?
Yes, we have considered the impact. The first point is that for those who fall within the category of the poor, who do transactions of less than 100 Ghana cedis, they will pay zero. And I think we must always make that point that the poor are exempted from this tax category. At first, when this sort of charge was being exacted on, how do I put it, road tolls, etc., the poor were not exempted. Now, with this new approach, the poor are exempted from it. That's number one. Number two is the fact that this is equitable in the sense that it is not just limited to a few vehicles on our roads. It is extensive and actually broad-based enough that everybody participates in it. Number three, we expect that some persons will elect to tone down on their transfers or not do transfers at all. And our modeling and our calculation accounts for such persons who will or who are expected to elect not to participate. But we believe that this is an approach which yields more revenue. This is an approach which is more equitable.
And is that not going to compound the hardships already that we're talking about, that this tax burden is having?
Have been taken off. So this is more or less like a replacement. At first, it was just a few people who were participating in contributing, for example, to our roads. I mean, I have watched TV3 many times cover demonstrations by people say that they want their roads fixed. Part of the road fixing challenge is the fact that how much money we contribute to fixing our roads is totally inadequate. 78 million Ghana cedis only that comes from our road tolls. There's more hardship to the people who have bad roads than there will be if they pay 1.75% to help us fix their roads. The pregnant woman who may die on a road that is not fixed, that is more hardship as compared to 1.75 being charged on persons who send above 100 Ghana cedis. You do know that there are tax handles, like corporate tax is about 25%. There are some other tax handles that are like 7.5%, etc. This is 1%, 0.75%. Comparatively, this is a more efficient way to raise more money. We have to choose between one of two hardships. Do we want the hardship of bad roads, or do we want what you call hardship in paying 1.75%? We have to make a choice.
So guess what? These are the initial reactions to this. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is Information Minister. Thank you very much. For the sake of time,
Thank you very much.
We have to move on.